someone on the outside might say, what's a clown doing in the hospital? And I think you only can answer that by either doing the work or being witness to the power of the work.
The most magical moment in this work can be something as simple as a mouth going from this to. If you can get that from a child who is very, very sick, then you've reached them. And what you've reached in them is the child in them that is still healthy. My name's Tiffany Riley.
And I'm Dick Monday, and we're the founders of the Laughter League.
The Laughter League is a team of professional comedic performers who take their gifts into marginalized populations, which primarily is pediatric facilities around the country. I came to clowning a little later in life after going to acting school. I met actually Dick Monday, who was a clown in a circus, and started to follow the art form of clowning. So, was it a year after that, we actually started dating.
Yes, we did. And then we got married.
It was very challenging to find how we worked together because he already had 20 years of experience being a clown. That's probably one reason why I was drawn to the hospital clowning. It allowed me to develop my skills as a performer without being in the shadow of someone who was really experienced and well-respected. I actually auditioned for the Big Apple Circus Clown Care Unit in New York and became a clown at Sloan Kettering Hospital in 1999. So this will be coming up on my 20th year of being a clown in the hospital setting.
Shh, you want me to be quiet? Yes, we're in a hospital, right?
When we moved to Dallas, it became a passion for me because the hospital here was interested in starting a full-time program, and I became the advocate, the driving force, the person who was willing to do whatever it took to get clowns into the hospital here.
Like any other performer going into this work, I was afraid. I'll be honest. Yeah, it's a scary proposition to think that you can bring something to a sick child.
20 years ago, our director, Myra Fox, got everyone in the Child Life Department together, and she said, we're going to bring clowns into the hospital. And there was actually an audible gasp. And I think the feeling was, we didn't know if clowns belonged in the hospital.
I have 3 children with beta thalassemia major. It's a blood disorder that requires blood transfusions every 3 weeks. The hospital can be a tough place for little kids to be, and they just make it into something that's happy. It means the world to me to see them smiling. It gives the girls an opportunity to forget why they're even here.
I've seen the clowns come in and the kids have been screaming and crying while we're doing their IV, and they'll start juggling behind the patient or playing the ukulele and singing, and immediately the crying stops, the child's giggling.
It really is true that if you are laughing, if you can see that side of the world, you don't just heal better, your life is better.
While the nurses and the doctors and the other caregivers are there to treat the illness in the child, the clowns are there to bring the child out of the child.
Anna is an excellent cook.
One of the most enduring things about our program at Boston Children's Hospital is that it has been sponsored since the very beginning by the Boston Children's Hospital League.
And the people that are supporters of our clowns in that hospital today are stronger than they were 10 years ago. The advocates are growing and growing. When you're in one place for that long, you're no longer just something that's extra. You're something that is part of it.
I do have things that do weigh on my mind a lot, and that usually stresses me out. And when they come in, they usually help take my mind off that, and for that brief moment, I'm laughing and it's fun. I'm smiling more rather than laying down in my bed, just sleeping and glancing off in different directions.
So many kids are hurting, so many kids are broken, and anytime you can instill joy, laughter, humor, anything that can capture them for that moment to bring some healing, that's what this is all about.
You hear people here say, oh, I'm afraid of clowns, or I don't like clowns. What could a clown bring to this interaction? But when you give it a chance, then you see, oh, they can bring a lot, and they bring a depth that you don't expect. And so I would say, put the box away and let them surprise you.
Anything that can be done to help these kids just feel like, I'm a normal kid, this is a normal day, I would say does as much for their health as the medical treatments they're receiving.
Wait a minute, you're a good thrower. You want to throw in here?
We are here because our son was diagnosed with neuroblastoma last September. I'm here a lot.
We're probably here 2 to 3 weeks out of each month.
Sometimes kids are ready to just play. Sometimes they're not. It's patience, total listening, and seeing if anything you or your partner do that causes something, a reaction of any kind.
Whenever he's feeling the worst, it doesn't matter, he starts laughing. Could be the whoopee cushion, but I bet it's the clown.
The hospital environment can be a pretty scary place for kids, and things that they have no control over. And you insert clowns into that mix of this environment's not quite as scary as you thought it might have been, or that it's okay to laugh here because kids laugh. I mean, that's just who kids are, and that's a strength, right? And if you're not given the chance to actually use that strength, then we're not doing our jobs well.
We let the child dictate where they are and where we can meet them in the middle so that it's totally empowering for the child.
As a pediatrician, I spend my life listening to stories. And I think to listen to a story in a way that lets the patient know you're listening and can engage with you back, I think that's something you learn, and I think you can learn it from watching people who are really skilled at doing it, and I think that's the clowns.
There are times when I've been trying to really help support a patient and they come along and just things that they're able to do and help to give that child that release. It's really magical.
If another physician from another children's hospital said they were thinking about having a clown program like we do, I would be like, what took you so long?
We have the tool of laughter, of engagement, of a smile, something that they weren't expecting to see. And that little changes that day, takes them into a whole different place. And we want to find that place so that while they are making their body better, they're keeping their spirit alive.
If we can raise the awareness in the United States that what we're doing is actually part of the healing process that helps people feel better, children, adults, families, staffers, that's my goal, is to see Laughter League represent the healing power of laughter.